What's up, everyone? It's me, the Osprey. We've talked about all different genres of retro games on all different types of retro game systems, but one genre that I know we probably haven't even discussed yet is the RPG, role-playing game. And I've got a really good one to share with you today. So let's give a shout out to Eugene at Moe's Gaming Emporium in Homosassa for providing this gem for my Sega Genesis collection, Shining Force. Shining Force was released for the Sega Mega Drive in Japan in 1992 and for the Sega Genesis in North America in 1993. The game is a strategy RPG, but we'll get into that later once we start playing the game. Here on the front cover we have a very 1980s Dungeons and Dragons looking picture right here. Really cool. And let's take a look at the back. Role-playing action, up close and deadly. The continent of Rune has slumbered in peace for 50 generations. A horde of invaders swarm across the border, while a dragon that has slept for centuries stirs in its tomb. Only the king's youngest swordsman and his war party can defy the dark dragon's evil power and crush the mighty army. Control up to 10 different characters at once. Increase their skills and attributes through strategy, combat, and exploration. Search through 8 brilliant scenarios, subquests, and imaginative sequences make every game a new adventure. 12 megs plus battery backup equals Sega's largest role-playing game. Sounds like fun. Let's take a look at what's on the inside. We have our instruction manual right here, talking about our characters and the basics of how the game works. And we also have the game cartridge itself right here. Let's pop this in and play it. So here we have Shining Force for the Sega Genesis, or Shining Force: The Legacy of Great Intention to be more exact. When we start a new game, the first thing we're going to do is pick out a name for our main protagonist. And then the game's narrator, Simone, the elf, introduces herself to us. And now to get on with the story. A good portion of the game is spent exploring towns and castles, talking to people, learning about your next objectives for your next goals. Before we can head out into the heat of battle, we need to recruit some new team members to help us along the way, and that's these guys over here. As the story progresses, more and more fighters will join your team. And it's not a bad idea to stock up on supplies before heading out on your mission. I should probably stock up on some MREs too. Now we're ready to go out and fight. It's an earthquake! Quick, crawl under a desk! Alright, let's get back to the game. Each side takes turns, moving each individual character a certain amount of spaces. Each of these characters have their own advantages and disadvantages and their own weapons and powers. Each time you defeat an enemy, your character gains experience points and more coins to buy more supplies and weapons. And not all characters have to be standing directly next to an enemy to fight them.
characters like Hans the Archer can fight enemies from 1 square away. Nice shot! And you also have magicians like Tao, who can cast spells that can turn monsters into firewood. Let's toast some marshmallows! And besides just creating damage, you also have characters like Lo, whose specialties are repairing damage. As you progress through the game and level up your characters, the enemies you encounter become more and more powerful as well. So it's important that you help your characters to work together and watch each other's backs.
So Shining Force is a great RPG and a great addition to your Sega Genesis collection, but keep in mind, this is a fairly rare game and it can be fairly expensive too. Complete in the box, Shining Force can sell from around $90 to $100 or more, depending on the condition. But if you want to try and save some money, you can also just get the cartridge by itself for about $40 to $50, which is still kind of a lot, but still cheaper than getting the game complete in the box. But regardless of how you buy the game, just make sure it's in good working condition, and that's what's important. But if you do get to come across Shining Force one day, if you ever have the chance, it is well worth playing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So I'll see you guys later, and don't forget to like and subscribe.